Mega invasions. So lately I've gotten a request or two to talk about mega invasions and my opinion on them for good or worse. Just so everybody's clear, mega invasions are long-lasting invasions from the cogs that can last upwards to even as long as a week at a time. Most often seasonal, like the Ides of March mega invasions that happen almost every year. So with mega invasions, I think there's definitely good qualities and bad qualities that are worth discussing. So let's start positive and talk about the good aspects of mega invasions. First off, the obvious is that it creates a fantastic environment for training. These are invasions that last usually at least for multiple days at a time even, so if there's a point where you need gag training badly, you'll probably be able to do so and do so over a long period of time. The only other real benefit that I can think of in this vein of activity is if there's a task that you have that requires a specific cog that's hard to get. I'm talking Daisy Garden's Mingler or Legal Eagle keys, or the sometimes extremely rare V2.0 invasions where the streets are flooded with a specific type of V2 cog. But don't get your hopes too high on that happening real soon. Besides the time where Bossbot Headquarters was about to be released, and so they ran V2.0 mega invasions to let people like me catch up on their Bossbot suit, I can't remember too many times besides that where there were actual 2.0 invasions. So you'll probably want to get comfortable with running the front threes for the suit progress, unfortunately. So with that out of the way, let's talk the negatives of mega invasions. So firstly, it takes usually at least half of the districts available. That means a few things. One, if you want to do a building or cog battling on the streets that doesn't involve that specific type of cog, you'll now have half of the district options to do so in. Two, if those cogs are too high or way too high, you're going to have to avoid them because your sanity would stop you from fighting a big cheese in Toontown Central. Or at least it hopefully would. And lastly, your resources are going to be a bit harder to come by overall. Those micromanagers you need in Donald's Dock, you now have to compete in half of the districts with other toons for those. Same goes for any specific cog. And if you have one of those real hard tasks like several hundred of a specific type of cog that isn't the mega invasion type, you're either gonna pray for some kind of good invasion in a non-mega invasion district, a decent building in a non-invasion district, or just plain stick to bosses because you're stuck with that for a while. On top of all that, you're probably going to be fighting with a lot of toons for good buildings to train in inside the mega invasion as well, since all of those districts, depending on the type of a cog, is gonna be filled up with toons looking for easy EXP. Overall, I think mega invasions are neat seasonally, but should also be carefully done as to not upset the flow of the game for a lot of players. If you think about it critically, the fact that you need to make sure half of the districts that exist are safe zones already tell you that it's enough of a problem that you have to limit what you'd like to call content in such a harsh regard. Think about golfing or the Cellbot headquarters. Now imagine that you had to limit that to just a few districts due to the gameplay it provides. It inherently tells you that there's some level of annoyance on top of the already existing invasions that are already running in the game. There's times where it can work, but they probably should be relatively spaced out and done carefully and with good taste. It's somewhat touchy, but with a good balance and good timing, it can always work. How do you guys feel about mega invasions? Do they annoy you or do you prefer them? And also, what topics like this would you want for me to cover? Let me know about all of them in the comments below. And as always, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time in my next video.